Welcome back to the Great Lakes Disc YouTube channel. I'm excited to bring you another industry interview, if you will. I was recently out at the Northeast Disc Golf Expo and met my friend Caleb from Pured Disc Golf. That's an app. Stay tuned to learn more about that. Stay tuned to the end to learn how to win these zones. Remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Helps us out. Thank you. Hello, and thanks again for joining us on our YouTube page. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm excited right now to talk to the man from Pured Disc Golf app, Mr. Caleb himself. Caleb, welcome. How you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, Brian.
No worries. Thanks for taking some time to hang out with us today. I met Caleb a couple weeks ago at the Northeast Disc Golf Expo. He had a booth there and was always chatting up people, and it's always nice to connect to people a little bit outside of what I normally do every day, which is, sell frisbees. This guy's trying to push our sport forward in a different way. So I'll let Caleb kind of get into his disc golf origin story, and we'll rock and roll from there.
Sure. Yeah. So I grew up in Blacksburg, Virginia, which is now considered Conrad country.
Yeah.
I missed him by 1 year. He came to my high school, and I figured out I could get out of high school if I took English and government that summer. So I pieced out, but played some like weekly doubles with his dad and some other characters in the scene there. But my origin story starts just in a public park up the street from me. I had a friend growing up named Bobby who came back from summer camp, and we had to be outside until like 5 p.m. was the rule on the weekends. So
Yeah.
he's like, let's go play disc golf. And I had no idea what he was talking about, but we went up to the park and we just picked targets. And he's like, you throw here, we have 3 shots to get there. So that's kind of where it started. And I remember in 1999, we were on a trip and I saw an actual disc golf disc for the first time. It was a DX Rhino, and his birthday was coming up. And I was like, Mom, we got to get Bobby this disc. Like, we got to do it. So that was around 2000. And I consider my disc golf like career to have started in 2002. That's when Golden Hills was installed nearby my house. So growing up, it was just what me and my friends did if we could get a ride. And then once me and my buddies had driver's license, school ended, we went and played around a disc golf and then worked our scuzzy restaurant jobs.
Oh yeah.
I think one of my biggest life regrets is I played my first C tier in 2006 and paid $10 not to join the PDGA because I didn't have
Ah.
money. And then in 2014, I played B tier and was in college and broke. So I paid $10 to not join the PDGA. So my number is hilariously high for how long I've actually been playing.
So what's that number?
221375.
221375. All right, that's a fun one. Two two
I
one is
did
always a good one.
I did reach out to the PDGA with links to my past events. So if anyone does want to PDGA stock me, you can see those rec performances there. But yeah, so that's where it sort of began.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's always cool to hear that you learned it from someone that learned it at summer camp. That's where I learned disc golf, so I think that that's a cool connection that more people should talk about. So you're obviously a disc golfer, but where does this app come from? Where does this idea come from?
Yeah, so probably a longer story for another day, but like I guess the full thing. But in 2022, had some life stuff happen, and honestly, I didn't really have any friends, and I had a lot of free time at weird times of the day. So I needed something that was mentally kind of engaging and physically engaging, and I love disc golf. So
Yeah.
with the free time, I was like, let's do it. So I joked with my wife that I was going disc golf dating because I would go to the course, give myself 20 minutes at the putting basket at like 9:30 in the morning on a Tuesday. And if someone showed up, I'd shoulder tap and see if they wanted to play. And if not, I would just play solo rounds. So over the course of about 3 months, I ended up meeting my now two best friends, and we play disc golf about 3 times a week if the weather allows it. So in between jobs, wondering like, what could I bring to the disc golf community so that people can find what I found, which is friendship and community a little bit
Yeah.
easier. Because I was proficient and reasonably outgoing. So if I was introverted and new, like it would be terrifying to do what I did. And that's kind of what sparked me, I would say, going full nerd into disc golf. Joined my local club and got to know people in the disc golf community. But even that was a little bit challenging for me, who I'd like to give myself more credit for trying to like find information and stuff, or think I'm better at it than average. So that's kind of where the idea of Pure came from, of a way to help people who already play disc golf grow their community a little bit easier, and people who are new to the sport to find community a little bit easier.
That's excellent. So if you had to like sum up the goal of the app in one sentence, how would you say that?
Yeah, boiling it down, I think it'd be connecting disc golfers one round at a time.
Okay.
Um,
All
yeah,
right.
when you meet someone new and you play a round, it's almost like a friendship interview where you can have a fun round and just be like, hey, that was great. Like, see you later. But then there's a lot of times where you're like, that was super fun. Like, would you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Um, so I found that in traveling and stuff, I get to meet some really cool people who are locals, but then they end up in my phone as like Bill Disc Golf New Hampshire.
Y-
There's no way I'm going to find Bill in my phone again. So I was
Yeah.
like, man, if I had all my disc golf contacts in one place and, could filter by zip code or location and reach out to my New Hampshire disc golf friends a week or two before I head out and say, hey, like, I'm going to be in town. Let's get around in. Like, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, so the app is in the beta process now, which for people that are like me had to look that up. That's like testing, right?
Yeah. So it's kind of an excuse to have some things that feel clunky or weird. As much as we planned for some unforeseen scenarios, you can't plan for everything.
Yeah.
So um, it is in beta, so please be patient. But good news is we'll be releasing kind of the first big update that'll fix some of the clumsier things in the app.
So, you're obviously in development. You got people that help you with that. What do you feel is the best portion of this app so far? Like, what is the thing that's been most successful, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I can see very little about what users do. And that's part of just protecting people's personal privacy. And seeing the number of people who have joined with very limited like marketing and outreach tells me that people are talking about it with their friends, which is awesome. So the connect portion where you can have a profile and reach out and connect in virtual
Yeah.
space. It allows you to send messages back and forth. I think a feature that's been surprisingly underutilized is the improve section. Another thing that I found is there's tons of great content related to disc golf online, but it's pretty scattered. Even if you go to a manufacturer's website, their primary goal to stay in business and support the cool things that we get in disc golf is to sell discs. So some of their like knowledge-based content tends to be buried behind some links. So the improve section just has a bunch of content in one place and you can filter it, which is kind of neat by skill level or topic area.
Now, are you the one adding those links, those articles to the website or to the app? Sorry.
Yeah, I am. So if anyone has any specific like content creators that they'd like to see be in the improve section, if you visit my website, there's a couple different ways that you can reach out. Any of those forms um, goes directly to me, and I'm really good at responding to folks who reach out.
I think that's super cool, Caleb, that you're so open to like saying like, yeah, I can't find anything. You got something cool to put on here? Tell me. Let's get it up there. That's very noble almost of you to not make it all about yourself, but to use the massive disc golfers to help do that thing. Speaking of the massive disc golfers, the most mass toxic place is Twitter, but that's where you find me being the most realist. And I ask a lot of times when I have these interviews, some questions from all my favorite friends on X. And so I said this morning, I said, "What's your first thought when you download this app?" So maybe you got a few bonus downloads from me today. Hopefully that happened, but looks to be only a Cali thing. I would assume that's where you're based out of currently. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I'm in live on an island actually next to Oakland, California.
Okay.
Um, so 40 minutes pending traffic from Golden Gate Park also Aquatic Park in Berkeley, and a handful of other courses. Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of makes sense when the majority of people are from California. You're doing word of mouth thing out there. So that makes sense. That was a great question, I thought. And then a follow-up within his own question, shout out one of my followers, Chris at Chris Blocked. Ooh. Um, how do you figure to like get more people to come to the app and leave places like Facebook and Discord as far as these meetup websites?
Yeah, that's a great question. Um, and then just to touch on the California thing too, because it's a beta, I've kept kind of the word of mouth a little small and focused in California, just because I have more relationships with folks. So getting feedback quickly was a priority of mine.
Yeah,
But we are
yeah.
going to be opening the marketing floodgates soon, and we have about 39 states. And the first courses that have been uploaded to where you can create around and select a course are public courses with 9 holes or more. If
Okay.
there's specific courses that folks want to see, there's a course request form on my website, and it's literally just putting the PDJ or UDisc link in there and hitting send, and I can get that uploaded pretty quick. And then as far as the differences between Discord or Facebook, or how I see myself entering that sort of competitive landscape, benefit is that Pure is free. And the features that are live right now in the beta will be free forever. So it's not kind of a get you on and then charge you. We will be releasing some premium features down the road. I'll be open and honest about that. I do have to figure out how to make a little money and not go broke. But
Fair.
I think the free nature of it and how it's evolving and responding to the needs of disc golfers when they're getting on the platform and sharing their experience, it's only going to get better. Um, Additional value add versus Discord or Facebook is that it's disc golf centric. So Facebook is nice in meeting current needs the best way that it can, but I think there's a better way to organize and connect with other people and still protect your privacy and not have to kind of see family photos of people that you're not really close to. And it just kind of blurs social boundaries. And I think healthy boundaries are the foundation of a healthy community. And boundaries are like a key feature of Pure.
Yeah, I like that. That's a real honest answer. I appreciate that. A little follow-up to the updates and stuff coming up. My man Dave likes disc. He's from Canada. He wants to know, are we going to get some Canadian postal codes on there soon?
For sure. So I did upload all of the, public courses, 9 holes or more in Canada. And one of my like biggest mistakes or oh gosh moments when the beta dropped was the alphanumeric issue with the postal code. I never imagined I'd have to apologize to an entire country when I launched the beta, because I love Canada. When I was at the New England Expo, like my 3 roommates at the Airbnb were Canadian friends of mine. So that one's on me, and I'm very sorry about that. But the upcoming release should be about Valentine's Day, like February 14th to 17th, depending on how quickly those get approved by the app stores. And Canada will be all set and ready to go.
Look at see questions posed and questions answered. That's a good
Yeah.
interview, Caleb. You're killing it, my man. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
man.
What else should we know about the app from your average rec golfer that goes out on the weekends to the serious competitor? What should we all know?
I think one of the biggest things, just purely related to the app as it relates to users, is the more people we can get on it, the better experience it'll be for everyone. And that's kind of the tricky spot I'm in right now. Because how do you get a bunch of people to join something when a large part of like the valuable experience is that there's a lot of people on there, right? It's kind of a chicken or an egg problem. So if you believe in our mission of helping disc golfers connect and growing your network and finding more rounds to play with more people, just like liking, sharing, all those like little small actions actually do help quite a bit. And just telling your friends, And even if it feels a little bit goofy at first to like post around because there's not many users in the community yet, like that'll help encourage other people to do it. So I believe in the power of the disc golf community. That's why I've invested so much time and money into this. And I know that with the right intentions, like it will return with people coming on the platform. And yeah, I feel really positive about it.
Yeah, Caleb, that's a great call to action. So don't be afraid to, get out there and say, hey, I'm going to go play this park at this time. Come join me. But first, you need to download the app. And maybe you're listening to this and watching on YouTube and you're like, where's the giveaway this time, Papa? What are we doing for a giveaway? If you have downloaded the app, whether it's you downloaded it while you're listening to this or you've been a day one user, all you have to do is comment below, downloaded. And towards the end of February, we'll give 2 discs away from my secret stash here behind the counter, which I don't have anything in right now because it's all at the shop and this is at my house. But we'll catch up later. Definitely, we'll get 2 free discs to 2 random people that have downloaded this by the end of February. So that's pretty
And
cool.
I'll have some new Pured hats similar to the ones
Ooh.
that I'm wearing, so I will match that. So winners
Oh.
will receive a disc and a Pured hat.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with winning one prize, but there's something super excellent with winning 2 prizes. So do yourself a favor. Today we got a lot of things we got to do. We got to like, we got to subscribe, we got to share. But then we also got to download the Pure Disc Golf app. So Caleb, anything else to say before we sign off?
Um, I appreciate you having me on, so thank you. Just first off, and then I guess the last thing to follow up with, it's pretty much just me behind Pured. I don't have any coding experience, so I do have design experience. So I designed the app, and I found a group that was able to develop it on my behalf that I paid. And there's certainly people in my like close circle who are mentors and friends who provide feedback. But if you bump into something that seems weird or you have an idea of how to improve things, like there's a couple ways you can get in contact with me, Facebook, Instagram, or my website. So I appreciate you guys kind of getting excited about it, being a little bit patient since it's a one-man show right now. But I would love your feedback and ideas. So yeah, definitely reach out.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate your honesty and your openness, Caleb. Thanks again for taking the time and best of luck with Pure Disc Golf.
Cool. Thanks, Brian.